What helps you guys kind of navigate the seeming social pressure of being the tag along versus being the owner of?
There's no way I could throw a massive event at the dealership every weekend over the entire summer. It would lose momentum and I would be reaching the same people over and over again. Whereas this community initiative and being out in the community, I'm reaching a different audience every time I go to an event.
What kind of conversations do you have to make sure that everyone stays accountable to community first will equate to at some point, perhaps maybe a non-attributable sale?
Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, the world of KPIs and ROI and show me the number and what's the stats. We do still have traditional marketing at the dealership, but separately, this idea that we're creating this top of mind marketing, which essentially creates a pull versus a push. I'm creating enough buzz and enough memories and enough connections that when you're ready to buy your truck, you're going to come find me.
We have a quote here from Charlesglen's founder. It says he often said, quote, "Look after your city and they'll look after you." How do you carry the philosophy forward today? And what's next on your philanthropic horizon?
I think for me,
one of the things that I enjoy most about producing the Dealer Playbook is hearing from you. The messages that I get of people who are getting so much value out of the podcast, applying it to their day-to-day workflows and finding a thriving career right here in the retail auto industry. It means the world to me. And, you know, one of the ways that we make doing this possible is through my agency, Flex Dealer. And of course, in the spirit of providing value, I think this is a perfect time to head over to www.flexdealer.com to show even further support for you, my beloved DPB gang. Right now, if you go to my website, flexdealer.com, you can get a full free PDF of my #1 best-selling book, Don't Wait, Dominate. And the reason I think it's so special is that a lot of the topics that are discussed in this book are even more relevant today than ever with this surge in popularized AI and people wondering, well, what can I do next? How can I have a competitive advantage? Well, that's all here in this book. And so I'd love to be able to offer you a free copy of this. If you go to flexdealer.com, it would mean the world to me because that is how we continue to produce this show for you. Ashley Brockhurst is the Director of Marketing and Health and Safety at Charlesglen Toyota in Calgary, Alberta, known to the locals as Alberta's celebration destination. With more than 12 years at the dealership and a prior career in aviation safety, Ashley brings a rare mix of precision and creativity to the mix. She oversees marketing, brand strategy, and safety compliance. Bet you didn't think those things went together, but they do, ensuring that every event from Stampede breakfasts, we all know about the Calgary Stampede, to the Steel Dreams Show and Shine charity car show balances fun with care. Her approach combines relationship-driven marketing with a strong belief in community investment and corporate giving. We all know how much I care about this stuff. Ashley, thanks so much for joining me on the Dealer Playbook.
Thanks for having me.
You know, I tell people, because a lot of people don't know, I talk a lot about growing up in the Okanagan in British Columbia. A lot of people don't know I was actually just like 2.5 hours north of you in Edmonton before I moved to Texas. People go, "What's Texas like?" And I say, it's extremely southern Alberta.
Yeah, I'd agree with that statement.
Or you're extremely northern Texas at this point. But you're all the way there in Calgary, where we are time zones apart, we are miles apart, and yet there are so many things that connect us inseparably. This discussion about a dealership being a celebration destination, being an experience destination, putting on events. I know you and I have had some interactions in the past around the car show and the charity work that you guys do. I'm curious, first and foremost, though, I did not know you were in the aviation space. You come to Charlesglen Toyota with a background in cabin safety. Is that right?
Yeah, that was the beginning of my career. And the world that I lived in was in the skies mostly and flying the desk. And I became a mom and I did that. And wanted something to get just back into an office, back with adults would be a great place for me to be. And I took a reception job at Charlesglen Toyota and then learned some things and did some things and tried some things. And 12 years later, rest is history.
Okay, well, we need to just unpack that a little bit because there's the stereotype. It started as like the stereotype. Wait, so they made the receptionist the marketing person, but there's obviously something in you. What is it about Ashley Brockhurst that was like, I'm not a receptionist. I am someone who sees opportunity. Is it how you were raised? Did you learn that as a skill? How do you navigate that? Because I think there's a lot of receptionists and or phone answerers, BDC agents. It doesn't matter what, detailers, whoever it might be in this industry that perhaps don't know that there is incredible upward mobility in our industry. What did that path look like for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I don't like to be bored, and I definitely enjoy a challenge. So, if I see a problem, if I see a gap, I try and solve that. And a lot of times, I felt like I had really great ideas, and I'm fortunate that I work with a group of people that are willing to listen to your ideas. It helps that my ideas are quite loud. But yeah, ultimately, that's how it started. You talk about promoting within the industry. That's definitely the case in automotive, but certainly the case at Charlesglen Toyota. Majority of the folks that have been here in higher level positions started out, entry level and worked their way up. So, working with a company that will invest in their people means a lot. As far as the role from receptionist to marketing, we had gone to a brand discovery seminar. I got invited, I think, kind of on a whim, because I'm very much the cheermeister at the time.
Yeah.
And at one point, I redid the Wolfpack speech from The Hangover in a boardroom full of executives. And that was kind of it. They realized there was something different and unique and exciting. And they went with it. And
there's some dynamics there I want to unpack. I mean, you swung and you hit hard, because it's not every day that you land in an organization that is prepared for opportunity, meaning that you mentioned they saw something in you. You felt like you were in a space where you could put yourself out there. I mean, to me, that just reeks of good culture.
Yeah.
And I think we struggle a lot in our industry to know how we can quantify culture. And if we were to look at leadership, and now yourself in a leadership position at Charlesglen, you could say, well, actually, culture can be quantified, because look at everything that's happened over the years that we've been able to, build our business and pour equitably back into the community. And it stems from having a healthy culture.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, that's what it boils down to, is creating an atmosphere where people feel safe to take a chance.
Yeah.
And
I think it's important
too
to bring that up. I think that's so critical. See, that the hamster woke up, Ashley. It's running at full speed in my brain now. I think it's so critical to what I want to talk to you about in some of the programs and marketing strategies that you deploy, because, pre-show, we're talking about the internet and just the speed at which information travels now, good or bad. The world is craving authenticity.
Yeah.
And, the efficacy of what you're building. There's a lot of dealers out there that are doing charity events, but if we're being honest, and yes, I will call them out, you don't have to. I don't think they're approaching it sometimes from an authentic position. They're doing it from like how can I get more eyeballs on my business to like grow my business? Sorry if that hurts somebody's feelings, not sorry also. But the proof point to what you've built in these events that you do starts from a place of authenticity. That's why I think it hits, right?
Yeah, I think I agree with you wholeheartedly. I mean, there's a lot of talk in the industry right now about telling brand stories. You know, everybody wants to share a story and connect on a story. But I mean, ultimately, if you're telling a brand story that you're not living, you're going to run out of narrative really, really fast. And so for us, it was more just being who we already are, but doing it with intention. So, I mean, obviously, if we're running a corporate giving campaign, that's actually what's happening right now at the dealership, where the employees have an opportunity to donate to charity off of their paycheck. The company matches it. It's this amazing thing that we do. We just do it. It's organic. Yes, obviously there are opportunities for us to talk about it, but I think it's finding a way to tell your story and the things that you're doing in a way that just is natural. Nobody likes to watch those videos. And I mean, obviously we take the photos of the check presentations when we're making big donations. But you know, we're also out in the community, and we're not running just private sales. Automotive loves private sales. And we throw public parties, and hopefully we sell some cars along the way. But, you know, Family Day, Alberta, we have Family Day, and we're open on Family Day, but a lot of businesses are closed and there's not a lot to do. It's in February, it's cold. So we throw a party for kids. There's face painting and and karaoke and popcorn and alpaca, and people just come and have a good time. And maybe they buy a car today, maybe they buy a car in a year, but they come find us. And building those connections organically, I think, sets us apart. So it's intentional being out in the community. We were at 27 events this summer that weren't our events. We just tagged along and supported different charities and community organizations and things that were already happening in our city. And we just did what we could to support it.
What I love about this, I'm going to draw a parallel to social media for a minute. There's so many people on social media that are like, I have to post, I have to post, I have to post, I have to post. Then there are those that realize, why don't I just tag along on somebody else's post and comment and engage and build relationships that way, which is so much easier, by the way. You're doing the real, I bring it up that way because I know it's something that people think a lot about, but you just brought up in IRL, as the kids say, I'm told, IRL. In real life version of that, which is there are all of these other events that are already happening that we can tag along with. And as a result of being there, we have the same ability to build relationship and network and build inroads into the community as if we were doing our own event. Mm-hmm. Who thinks of that though? Because that's not an immediate thought for some people. Everybody's like, I got to take ownership. It's got to be my thing. And you guys certainly do have your own, you know, intellectual properties and events that you do. But what helps you guys diminish or kind of navigate the seeming social pressure of being the tag along versus being the owner of?
Well, I mean, if we're being totally and completely honest, convenience. You mentioned it, right? It's a lot easier for me to bring in a team of kids over the summer and send them out into the community representing the brand, being there myself, than trying to host all of these myself. Obviously, we do our own events that we're very proud of, and we do those for the community. And it is done with that intent at heart. So, yeah, those are great opportunities, but there's no way I could throw a massive event at the dealership every weekend over the entire summer. It would lose momentum, and I would be reaching the same people over and over again.
Yeah.
Whereas this community initiative and being out in the community, I'm reaching a different audience every time I go to an event and show support for our community, our city, local charities. And it's different connections with different people. It's not the same group that's always attending.
Hey, does your marketing agency suck? Listen, before we hop back into this episode, I know you know me as the host of the Dealer Playbook, but did you also know that I'm the CEO of Flex Dealer, an agency that's helping dealers capture better quality leads from local SEO and hyper-targeted ads that convert? So if you want to sell more cars and finally have a partner that's in it with you that doesn't suck, visit flexdealer.com. Let's hop back into this episode. Yeah. What sort of conversations have you had leading into these initiatives to help everyone that's involved, all of the stakeholders, stay rooted in that authenticity? Meaning, you know, because I know there's a lot of people, again, struggling in the industry that are like, well, we're not going to participate in it. And if we can't attribute, we love attribution. If we can't attribute to an uptick in revenue opportunity, you've already kind of alluded to, they might buy today, they might buy a year from now. Either way, they're still thinking about us.
Yeah.
What kind of conversations do you have to make sure that everyone stays accountable to community first will equate to at some point, perhaps maybe a non-attributable sale?
Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, the world of KPIs and ROI and show me the number and what's the stats. I mean, ultimately, we do still have traditional marketing at the dealership. I can still tell you a cost per click or all of those things. But separately, this idea that we're creating this top of mind marketing, which essentially creates a pull versus a push. I'm not pushing you a sale on a Tacoma. I'm creating enough buzz and enough memories and enough connections that when you're ready to buy your truck, you're going to come find me. And yes, it's definitely more difficult to measure. It's definitely more difficult to demonstrate a return on investment. But even just looking at, if you wanted to go that direction, the traffic that we have on our website and the ability to continuously lower the budgets associated with traditional marketing and digital advertising, because of the fact that we're seeing that direct traffic continuously increase and people coming to find us. You know, it's the same as the days of radio. And I know still people are on the radio. We're on the radio. We have a lot of fun with our radio ads, but you don't measure that. And I think that there's an element of brand marketing that is only measurable by word of mouth. It's a new version of word of mouth. And when people come in the door, where did you hear about us? And I can't remember. Or I was at my kid's soccer game and we saw you across the street with a barbecue, you know, like it's just, it becomes that. It becomes a top of mind. They come to find us and, you know, it's no longer a let's discount things to the bottom. And they're looking for the experience instead.
Yeah. What does Kevin O'Leary say? To zero with a bullet?
Yeah, exactly.
But it makes complete sense.
Yeah.
I think I want to linger on this, or I have been lingering on this with you, because I have this sincere desire for people to understand you can't feel all warm and fuzzy by a Gary V video where he's talking about how he day trades attention. And you're like, I want to day trade attention. And then only go back to what you said, the let's call it the operational marketing, the running the ads, the doing the SEO, the this and the that. That does equate to some attention, but it's also segmented on a phase of the buying journey where, to your point, you're saying top of mind awareness, top of mind awareness, top of mind awareness. that is the day trading of attention.
Yeah.
And it's shocking to me. Not shocking to me, actually. I'm not shocked at all. I don't know why I said that. It's interesting to me that in a 2025 world where we have 100 years of innovation every 6 months now, that the number one most valuable thing we can do is remain top of mind, not just for people who are in the market actively searching for a vehicle, but just top of mind in general for everybody. Yeah. As a local business, as a business that has a philanthropic arm, to just be top of mind and building bridges and building inroads and building connection, nothing can replace it. To your point, it's the best marketing any money could buy.
Mm-hmm. And it certainly feels good.
And it feels good. You want a dopamine hit, folks? Get off Instagram.
Yeah.
Go serve somebody.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I want to talk to you a little bit about this. I have a funny story. I think it's a funny story I want to share that leads into what I want to talk to you about. I have 2 boys and a girl, 2 teenage boys and a preteen daughter. I was a teenage boy once, Ashley.
Mm-hmm.
But I had 4 sisters and European immigrant parents. I don't think I had the opportunity to be as dumb as I think sometimes my boys are. Like, I don't relate with them sometimes because I'm like, can I blow? Like, I need to put, like, blow through your ear, you know, and see if I can feel my. So here's where I'm going with this. There's the setup. We just bought a brand new couch. How exciting. How old of me. This couch has 3 seats that recline. Since the day this couch has arrived, the boys have been so quick to claim their spots on that couch. I and my wife have also instructed them, I paid for this thing. So if you see me walking towards it, your only response should be to get up and go somewhere else. Right?
Yeah.
Like, that's dad's. If dad's going to sit on the couch, that's the spot he said. Who gets left out in the mix? Little Aria. So the other day, Saturday morning, actually, just this past Saturday, we're getting down to, we're going to watch something as a family, and the boys plop down. Aria's down the hall in her bedroom, door closed. So she does not hear what's about to happen. And I look at my boys and I say, boys, I find it interesting that not once either of you have graciously offered to let your sister have the first seat on the new couch. But I can almost guarantee you that if, when she comes into this room, you offer her a seat on the couch to enjoy it and to recline, and, you know, it's got the zero gravity recline, that she might almost certainly sit there for a minute and then at some point think about your needs and offer you to come and sit on the couch with her. They feel bad. They do the Guess what? She comes walking down the hall about 10 minutes later. So this conversation has not happened. My second son, Tristan, is somewhere now. He's left, but Dallin's still in the room. And they're not sitting on the couch. We're getting ready to sit down and watch the thing. And Dallin says, Aria, go ahead and sit on the couch. And she goes, that's okay. You can sit there. You know, when you have a conversation with your kid without saying anything, because he instantly looks at me and I'm like looking at him like, what'd I tell you? What's my point? Well, by the way, the conclusion to the story is Aria is going like, what's happening? She had no clue. And then I looked at Dallin and I said, get up, you go down that hall and you tell Tristan what just happened. You relayed to him exactly. Tristan comes back and because he doesn't believe it, he comes back. He says, Aria, you can sit where I usually sit. She's like, that's okay. You can sit there. Couldn't have played out any better. The audience is saying, well, what, Cirillo? is the question. You've mentioned, Ashley, that women make up most of Canada's charitable sector and influence the majority of consumer spending. How has that shaped your community investment strategy, and what programs have you launched to connect with women both inside and outside the dealership? They're obviously the ones thinking about other people's care.
Yeah, we do that, don't we?
You do that. And by the way, I don't want to, my audience knows me. I think that is divinely imprinted in women, because sometimes us guys are slow to the race.
Yeah. You said it, not me.
Yeah. We're just slow to the race sometimes. But how does that influence your approach? I mean, just you shared some statistics about the number of women in Canada that are the ones leading the charge and or spearheading charitable events and giving and community outreach. So how does that shape your perspective in putting these same sorts of events together?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a big part. I mean, it wasn't certainly the driving force of the decision maker, but again, discovered organically that a lot of the times when we're out at these events, when we're out giving back to the community, when we're volunteering, when we're investing in these charities, it is mostly women that we're connecting with. Just because they're the ones that are there between the volunteers and the employed in the nonprofit area. It is mostly women in Canada, and that makes me very proud. But it also lets them know that this is important to us too. And the things that matter to you matter to us. And when you're buying a car, it is a large purchase. And you can make that decision and invest that in somebody that invests back into the things that matter to you. So a lot of the messaging when we're out in the community and a lot of the conversations are, thank you for supporting us so we can support others. And that's a pretty cool message to give to anybody, especially women who care so deeply about these organizations.
Yeah. It brings me back to the late Zig Ziglar, help as many other people achieve success and you'll be successful. Mm-hmm. You guys are definitely proving that. We have a quote here from Charlesglen's founder, Glenn Richardson, who I have here. It says he often said, quote, look after your city and they'll look after you, close quote. So how do you carry the philosophy forward today? And what's next on your philanthropic horizon?
Yeah, that's Glenn is definitely service above self. It's definitely one of the pillars on which we're founded at Charlesglen Toyota. It was something I inherited as an employee was, hey, just so you know, this is who we are. This is what we do. But it certainly makes me proud to be a part of it. And it's something that is at the core of a lot of the marketing initiatives that we do is this giving back to the people who invest in us? Is this bettering our city? And like I said, right now we've got the corporate giving and matching campaign, which is amazing. We just wrapped up Operation Celebration, which is our community initiative. So we're done that for the summer, but we do have our corporate giving campaign is in full swing right now. Movember is after that. And then of course the food bank over Christmas. And through all of that, there's, kids sports teams and lots of organizations that reach out to us and ask us to be a part of the thing that they're working on. It definitely has gotten momentum, which is great. Because now, again, you're creating that pull where they come to us and say, can you celebrate us? Can you talk about the thing that we have coming up? Can you help us get the news out that this event is happening? And GR is the one that inspired that all and definitely continues to carry that forward.
Putting events together is messy. I mean, life's messy, but like putting events together is messy because they're never going to really fully end up 100% of the way that you want them to go. There's always going to be something, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you say to those? But I also wrote down Operation Celebration, Movember, Food Bank, Christmas, sports teams. You're thinking ahead. And I think we have a problem with not thinking ahead in our industry. It's like, I want to caution those that are listening that are feeling inspired. Like, we want them to feel inspired, right? But I don't want some poor marketing individual and some poor marketing agency to be like, oh my gosh, Saturday's coming up and there's a pumpkin patch and we should totally do. How do you manage the messiness of it, the desire to do immediately something, with also this idea of like, but we need to plan ahead. We need to look ahead. It takes a lot of work. What does that look like for you?
A lot of sticky notes, a lot of calendars.
Wait, are you going to a pumpkin patch on Saturday? You're laughing because you're like, I'm actually going to.
Noted. Yeah, I mean, because we celebrate every single day. We're known as Alberta's celebration destination. I know you've seen them before, but
No.
we do celebrate every single day, and that wasn't. Again, it's not a brand story. It's not something we made up. It's actually who we are. And so part of that is knowing what is coming up. What can we celebrate? What can we make sure that we're telling the community about? Today's National Taco Day. We've had National Talk Like a Pirate Day, but we've also had just as many community organizations and initiatives coming up. So it's definitely something that I search out. In automotive, there is a lot of last minute, here's the thing we need to do, make it happen.
Right.
But this is one of those tangible things that I do have the ability to be a little A-type about and plan ahead. And so I try to, as much as possible, and then bringing that, giving back, community investment, investing in your community, bringing that into everything we do. Yeah. So if we are going to host a sale, can we tie that around the food bank over Christmas? Or if we are going to do a women's initiative over International Women's Day, is there a women's focused charity that can sort of be the recipient of that participation? So just making sure that we're bringing that back into whatever plans that we're making.
So good. And I'm thinking about we've woven in and out of a variety of different topics. There's some recurring themes that you've brought up: storytelling, authenticity, brand building, attention, high level attention, right? Philanthropy, service. I can't help but think culture. Oh my gosh, we've talked about so many things. I can't help but think that the employees of Charlesglen's lives are also being impacted in positive ways, like the influence of that the industry can change lives for the better. Do you have maybe an example or a story of some of the other employees, or just an employee that, as a result of working in Charlesglen, have brought that spirit of celebration into their personal life or into their personal community?
Yeah, I think, I don't know that it would be one individual. I think that it sort of becomes a movement, and that's the beauty of corporate culture.
You know, I like a good movement.
Yeah, exactly. Is that because it is fundamentally who we are, and the ability to just take that and roll with it. I mean, we're Alberta's celebration destination. When you are tasked with finding a reason to celebrate every day, it changes the way you look at the world anyways, which is pretty fortunate. But we do have a lot of team members that find their own passions by participating in something beyond just selling, servicing cars. Is they discover something that becomes incredibly important to them. We were involved with the Ronald McDonald House charities recently, And I had a number of employees that joined me on that to volunteer for the event and participate in the event. And there were a lot of employees that didn't even realize what this charity did and the work that they do for these families. And then find themselves asking more, how can I go and help support these families? Can we go cook for them? Do they want us to come to the house? And so, just something as simple as going and playing board games at our local seniors center. You just feel good and you feel like you're a part of something that's bigger than just, I'm an employee at company ABC.
Whew. Well, hey, DPB gang, feeling bad about yourself today? Go serve, right? Like when you say, because think of how simple it is to just, on your way home today, pull into the senior center and go read them a book. Play chess with them. Mm-hmm. I almost had to fight back the tears there because I think about my own grandfather who was in a senior home in Burnaby, British Columbia. And I would go to school in downtown Vancouver and periodically would just stop in and just sit with him. He couldn't speak anymore at the time. Like the dementia was starting to really kick in. But just having him look at me and just give me a smile, and just sitting there, and we did nothing. Like I would just sit there and look at him, I can't help but think in this moment that my one wish is that I did it more. The feeling that comes from serving another person, lifting their spirits, helping them, smiling at them. Think of how easy it is to smile at someone when you're in line at Winners, TJ Maxx, for those that are, when you're in line at Winners, because everyone is struggling with something, and look at the very real impact that our industry and individuals in our industry can have on the community. I think it's so inspiring. Ashley, I'm so glad that we could have this conversation today. How can those listening and watching connect with you?
LinkedIn. LinkedIn's the easiest way to find me. And I'm on there all the time. Or gettoyota.com.
Love it. Ashley, thanks so much for joining me on the Dealer Playbook.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for listening to the Dealer Playbook podcast. If you enjoyed tuning in, please subscribe, share, and hit that like button. You can also join us and the DPB community on social media. Check back next week for a new Dealer Playbook episode. Thanks so much for joining.